You park the car at night, you turn the engine off, you grab your phone, lock the doors, and start walking away. Then something catches your eye, a red glow on the wall behind the car. You stop, look back, and there it is. Your brake lights are still on. Nobody is inside the car. Your foot is not on the brake pedal. The key is out, but the brake lights are still glowing, like someone is still pressing the brake. At first, it feels like a small glitch. Maybe it will turn off by itself. Maybe it is nothing. But if those brake lights stay on all night, you may come back in the morning, and the car may not start because those lights are still using power from the battery, even when the engine is off. And the frustrating part is, this problem can come from something very small. Not always the battery, not always the alternator, not always a major electrical problem. Sometimes, the whole issue is a tiny rubber piece near the brake pedal. Here is what is usually happening. Your brake lights are controlled by a switch near the brake pedal. When you press the brake pedal, the switch tells the brake lights to turn on. When you release the pedal comes back up, presses the switch, and the brake lights turn off. Simple system, but when one small part in that system fails, the car may think you are braking all the time. That is why the lights can stay on, even after the car is parked. One of the most common causes is a broken rubber stopper. Some people call it a pedal pad. Some call it a brake pedal bumper. It is a small rubber or plastic piece near the brake pedal arm. Its job is simple. When the brake pedal comes back up, that little stopper pushes against the brake light switch. That tells the lights to turn off. But over time, that rubber piece can get old, it can dry out, crack, break apart, and fall onto the floor. When that happens, the brake light switch may no longer get pressed in. So the switch stays in the brake-on position, and the brake lights stay on. One clue may be right under your feet. Look near the driver's side floor mat. If you see small broken pieces of rubber or plastic, that may be the missing stopper. It may look like random dirt or crumbs, but those little pieces can explain why your battery died overnight. That is why this problem can feel confusing. You may jumpstart the car in the morning and think the battery is weak, but the battery may only be dead because the brake lights were glowing for hours. Brake lights do not need the engine running to drain power. If the circuit stays active, the battery keeps feeding those lights. Leave it long enough, the battery can go dead. There is also a safety problem. If your brake lights are stuck on while driving, the driver behind you cannot clearly tell when you are actually braking. To them, your car may look like it is braking all the time. So when you really slow down, they may react too late. That is why this is not just an annoying light problem. It can become a safety issue. Now, a broken rubber stopper is common, but it is not the only cause. Sometimes the brake pedal itself is not returning all the way. Maybe the floor mat is pushed too far forward. Maybe something is blocking the pedal area. Maybe the pedal feels sticky. Or maybe it comes back slower than usual. This is something a regular driver can safely observe. You do not need to take anything apart. With the car parked, look around the brake pedal. Make sure the floor mat is not touching it. Press the brake pedal gently, then release it. Does it come back normally? Does it feel smooth? Or does it feel like it is hanging a little lower than usual? If the pedal does not return fully, the brake light switch may never reach the off position, and if the brake pedal feels soft, spongy, too low, or does not come back correctly, do not treat it like a simple light issue. That is a reason to have the brake system inspected. Another possible cause is the brake light switch itself. The switch can wear out, it can stick, it can become misadjusted, or it can fail internally. In that case, the rubber stopper may still be there. The pedal may look normal, but the brake lights may still stay on. Sometimes, pressing and releasing the pedal a few times may make the lights flicker or turn off for a moment. That can be a clue that the switch area is involved. But adjusting that switch is not something to guess with. If it is adjusted wrong, the brake lights may turn on too late, or they may not turn on when they should, and that can be dangerous. So if the switch needs adjustment or replacement, a mechanic should inspect it. There can also be wiring-related problems. This is less common, but it can happen. Damaged wiring, moisture in a connector, a short in the brake light circuit, trailer wiring problems, or previous electrical work. Any of these can cause strange brake light behavior. Some people think about pulling a fuse just to make the lights turn off, but that is not a real fix. and you should not drive without working brake lights. The lights need to work every time you slow down. So here is the simple parking lot path. You notice the brake lights are still on. First, make sure nobody is pressing the brake pedal. Then look near the driver's floor. Check for broken rubber or plastic pieces. Make sure the floor mat is not pushing against the pedal. Press the brake pedal gently. Release it and see if the pedal comes back normally. Then look at the brake lights again. If the lights go off after moving the pedal return or switch area may be involved. If the lights stay on no matter what, it could be the brake light switch, a missing stopper, or an electrical issue. And if the pedal feels wrong in any way, get the brake system checked before driving. The big thing is this: brake lights staying on can drain your battery overnight, but the cause may be much smaller than the problem feels. A tiny broken pedal pad can leave your car glowing in the driveway until the battery is dead. A sticky pedal can keep the switch from turning off. A faulty switch can make the car think you are braking, even when you are not. And a wiring problem can keep power going where it should not. So if you ever park at night and see that red glow behind your car, do not just walk away and hope it stops. Take a moment. Look at the pedal area. Look for broken pieces on the floor. Make sure the pedal returns normally. And if anything feels unusual, let a mechanic inspect it, because the cheapest version of this problem is catching it before it drains the battery. The more serious version is driving with brake lights that do not tell other drivers what you are actually doing. So the simple summary is this: brake lights that stay on usually point to the brake pedal switch area, a broken rubber stopper, a pedal that is not returning fully, or an electrical problem that needs proper diagnosis. Has this ever happened to your car overnight? Comment below with the exact symptom you noticed first, and if enough people mention the same issue, I'll make the next video on that exact problem.